There were two applications that we had before the Constitutional Court. The first one related to the war veterans who had taken the president to the Constitutional Court on the basis that he had breached his duties to uphold the Constitution by facilitating, initiating a bill where he would personally benefit, and also facilitating, initiating a bill where where that bill is clearly specifically prohibited by the Constitution, in the sense that you cannot have a term limit amendment which benefits incumbents. That is the basis upon which the war veterans came to the Constitutional Court. The Constitutional Court has said that it will not entertain the matter on the basis that, although the president has the duties that we had indicated he had breached, but those duties are not specific enough to allow the Constitutional Court to exercise its exclusive jurisdiction. In other words, we had said he had failing to uphold the Constitution, not respecting the values of the liberation struggle, all those duties that we cited under Section 90. The Constitutional Court said they are not specific enough for them to exercise the jurisdiction they have under Section 167, because we came direct to the Constitutional Court alleging that this was the kind of case which must be dealt with by the Constitutional Court directly. That was the argument. And they are saying those duties are not specific enough for them to exercise jurisdiction directly. So they declined to exercise their jurisdiction there. The application would not succeed on that basis. They said the application would not succeed on that basis. What this means is that the application ought to have been brought to a lower court, which is like the High Court. The High Court can determine those. And then it goes up to the Constitutional Court through the normal processes of appeals and so forth. That is the meaning. They've said under 167, subsection 2D, those obligations would not be triggered. So that application has failed in respect of the president here. And as you were seeing, we're getting instructions from our clients, the ones I had, the war veterans. They've said they will immediately file the same application in the High Court, which can then determine those broad-based duties, because they're not clear, so they have to be ventilated. So the application will be filed in the High Court on the same allegations, same issues, which can be determined by the High Court and then going up. Then the second application we had was from Prince Tobacco Sibanda, who had taken Parliament to court on the basis that Parliament must not discuss that bill because the bill is on the face of it unconstitutional. The Constitutional Court has said that is not right. They will not hear the matter now. They would prefer that Parliament goes through its processes, and after Parliament has finished its processes, they certainly will be ready to hear that. They were very specific, if you heard the Justice Patel, that the issues raised, they're quite serious issues, but they would not want to consider the issues now. In other words, they would. So we've already been given instructions that have been given to Mr. Mchadehama to then file the same application with this Constitutional Court immediately after Parliament would have gone through the processes. And this may actually happen after the National Assembly. We will read the reasons of the Constitutional Court. Our suspicion is that their reasons are such that that application can be refiled immediately after the National Assembly has completed its work, even if the bill is still going to the Senate. My clients, in both regards, they respect the judgment of the courts. They are going to be studying in detail what has come out, but they are undeterred. Both applications I have indicated will still be in the courts. One by the war veterans going to the High Court, word for word, unchanged. And then the second one waiting immediately after the vote has been taken by the National Assembly. They will be back in the Constitutional Court.
Thank you.